what I'm holding. So far.
I kind of remember a BOSS in this room.
I also really don't like the newer Mario Party games. Ever since Hudson was dissolved into Konami, the previous employees that worked on it in Hudson became P-Cube, and P-Cube has, or ND-Cube, sorry. P-Cube is another company, ND-Cube. And they made, like, Mario Party 9, 10, Super Mario Party, Superstars, and, like, all of them are just, like, they're okay. They're either too safe or just too weird and derivative, like the car ones. But even the new ones, like Superstars, is literally just old maps recycled. And they put, like, some new and some old, like, new map, or, like, the boards. It's all boards from 1, 2, and 3. And it's like, can you do something new? But then when they did something new in Super Mario Party, it was just so generic and sterile and soulless. I don't know. I don't like them at all.
You know what they need to do? They need to go back and take a look at Sonic Shuffle for the Dreamcast. Now that's soul. That game is, by the way, one of the most boring games of all time.
Yes, it is so bad.
It's so boring. Like,
also, if I said Super Paper Mario, I meant Super Mario Party.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about it. But yeah, we've played a lot of them. Like, the Shrek one, I think, no, it was a Disney one. Wasn't that bad. And there's some that you're like, okay, whatever. But, like, the Sonic one, you expect good things from. Even the graphics were, like, cel-shaded for some reason. Like, it just did not make any sense. They could have just plopped characters from Sonic Adventure in, but they, like, gave it a whole new, like, bad graphical style. Yeah. It's just so weird.
I don't know who made it, but
that's a game I haven't seen in the store in a long time.
When do you ever see Dreamcast games whatsoever?
Literally never.
Dreamcast games are getting so unbelievably expensive. And it's crazy because the Dreamcast is the only console where you can literally just burn discs.
Yeah,
and they work 100%.
I understand the collecting aspect of it, of course, but, like, if you don't care about that, then just literally burn the discs.
Like PS1, PS2, you have to mod them in some way. Dreamcast literally has no security.
So, like, instead of spending $100, probably way more, on, like, some of the horror games like Illbleed and stuff like that, it's like, just buy a 50-pack of CDRs, or DVDRs, excuse me, for, like, what are they nowadays, like $10, I don't know, something super cheap. And there you go, you have the entire Dreamcast library.
Now, I understand why, like, Saturn stuff's so expensive, because Saturn emulators suck. Saturn was a huge flop, and, like, the games barely sold any copies, like, for anything. So, like, yeah, I get it, why Saturn is so expensive. But Dreamcast... so this thing is to make the Master Override key. This is something that's completely optional. But if you get the Master Override key at the very end of the game, you get, like, they lock away, like, 5 or 6 weapon upgrades from it, and you get a ton of items and power nodes.
Nice.
But the problem is that you have to find, like, 5 optional rigs on, like, corpses, and some of them are, like, really far out of the way and dangerous to get. Like, there's one while we're, like, fixing the ADS cannons out in space while, like, meteors are raining down on us. We have to get a rig out there.
You know what I just thought of, speaking of games that haven't come out in a while? When's the last time we've seen a David Cage game? Like Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain. I mean, Detroit Become Human has been, like, 5 years? Uh-oh. Where's my David Cage Kino? Can you even fight it right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the way that I figured out how to fight them, they are, like, almost nothing.
Ah. So the DPS is ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, this even works on hard mode. The only real difference with hard mode is, the game mitigates your damage a lot, like, you just do a lot less damage, but just use stasis and do that, and it just dies. Cool 3. That's great.
8 seconds. Let's go.
Yeah, upgrade duration's good, but it only adds 1 single second, so it's not like a huge deal, I guess. I think the new suit is available now. No, I have to get the schematics. Never mind.
Now I'm remembering Detroit Become Human, and I'm like, that was a game.
I never played it. I hear it's like the best David Cage game.
I would say that or Beyond Two Souls. I did enjoy Beyond Two Souls.
The problem with... I also never played Beyond Two Souls, but I'm not super interested in that one. But Detroit Become Human seems a little bit more interesting to me.
I think the thing that, like, bothered me, and it's actually something that would be very cool for a lot of people, but at the end of each, like, episode, it shows you the entire, how do I say this? It shows you the entire, like, dialogue tree of, like, all the different choices you possibly could have made. And it bothers me that it would take, like, 500 billion playthroughs to get at, like, each ending. Like, it's absurd the amount of different, like, ways you can end each part.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
The contact beam is awesome. It's, like, partially a laser gun and partially, like, a huge, like... You can charge up, like, a huge blast. This is my third weapon.
How do you get rid of another weapon? Do you just sell it, or...?
You can put it into storage at a shop.
Ah.
You can't sell guns in this game. Unlike the original. I'm pretty sure you could do it in the original. I suppose they didn't want to soft lock you. But, yeah. Oh. Some of the molded necromorphs.
The harder ones, yeah.
They're, like, kind of harder. They're mostly just, like, way more tanky. But we have 2 or 3 damage upgrades from the Ripper, and it's already BTFR in this game.
I really like when games kind of have that lore of showing that the passage of time makes, like, certain enemies, like, stronger. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like that's one of my absolute favorite things about Last of Us, is that the enemies have, like, distinct levels. Like, if the enemy stays alive for 10 years, it's a clicker, you know, kind of thing. That's just so cool. And I think Dead Space kind of does that.
They do it, but it's pretty inorganic. I mean, you have the molded, necromorph. I have no idea if that's what they're called. But, necromorphs definitely get more tanky over time, but it's kind of just like, it just happens. They don't look visibly that much different.
Well, and it makes logical sense in the terms of Last of Us, because, like, fungus gets bigger over time,
yeah,
you know, as it spreads. Whereas dead tissue does not get bigger or stronger.
Whoops.
After this, we gotta play,
No, I don't want to do this. Go back.
After this, we gotta play Dead Space, Extraction? Is that what it's called? For the Wii?
It's a really boring, rail shooter.
It would take us, like, literally 5 or 6 sit-downs of, like, an hour apiece. There's also a couple Dead Space, like, movies and or animated movie things that I want to check out sometime.
EA really went all in on Dead Space as a franchise, and that's why it died so
Do you know what they
quickly.
also did at the same time, in a much smaller way, is Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, they really
I
that.
love Dante's Inferno, and I'm not. I'll say, despite the fact that it's a God of War clone, although whatever, I like God of War, so I'm fine with it. But yeah, they made an anime movie of it, and they definitely also made a comic or comics, and they were just like, I think at the time EA was just like, let's make a universe for literally all these games.
Yeah. EA was definitely like, they were only greenlighting projects if they would make them $1 billion. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff going on. I'm just gonna leave.
Good idea. There's a conversation I'll never forget that I had with a friend.
Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me.
Who worked at a game store with me back in the day, and he was a huge Dead Space person, and it was after Dead Space 2 came out. And I played 1, and then I played 2, and I came to him the one day, and I was like, hey, I got this one question about, like, the lore of the story or whatever. And I asked him, and he was like, oh, well, you gotta watch the animated movie and read the book.
Yeah.
And that was, like, not an argument, but, like, a big thing where I was like, no, actually, I don't have to do that. The book and the movie should add extra to it. I should not have to do that to understand a thing that's happening in the mainline game. The Star Wars Extended Universe, the EU, is an amazing example back when it was a thing. You didn't have to know some random book in the EU to understand the main Star Wars movies. How dumb would that be? But they assume, of course, that everyone who's getting into the EU have seen the main Star Wars movies, so that stuff is canon in it, you know? So yeah, I just remember just being like, no, I don't. I don't need to do that to understand. And in fact, because of that, I'm not going to read the book.
So there's a secret in this room. I don't know how anyone ever found this out.
Okay.
But if you stand on this pentagram thing... do I have this thing? Okay, so what you gotta do is while you're standing in this, you push punch, stomp, punch, punch, stomp, punch, stomp, punch, 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 R2.
What the hell?
And you get an audio log, and I think on like New Game Plus you get a couple power nodes. Very weird. So I don't know if this is in the original or not. If it does, I never knew about it. Dang it, there's more stuff on it. Oh my god, this is so rough.
Wait. So they're singing after all the crap happened?
Unitologists are literally insane.
Ah, yes, that's right. The KELLION come, save our souls and take us home. Noonday when the fixin's done. You know what? The Ishimura, always, every time you start this game up, you know what I'm reminded of? Because it was like a planet cracker and it kind of started all this, is one of the worst, by worst I mean good, kind of villains or at least character in anything ever, which is the corporate guy from the movie Aliens, who like, Ripley's like, I've seen this, I've lived it firsthand, and he's like, nah, it'll be fine. We need money. We need to go down there and get money. What's more important than money?
Nothing.
I hate that guy so friggin' much. She's like, I literally survived this. There's proof that I survived this. And he's like, nah, it'll be fine. What a piece of crap.
Man, this thing's the Ripper's so fun, but it really does make this game kind of a joke. I don't know. Maybe I'll you can switch it to hard. Maybe I'll do that next part. But the end of this game actually gets pretty tough, so we're just in comfy mode right now. Whatever.
Dude, who cares? Why does everything always have to be as hard as possible to have fun?
Okay.
I have fun challenging myself, but sometimes I don't want to.
The grid's unstable. That's 2. One more system and we'll have power for the ADS.
Wait, what was the reason why Isaac's doing this and not the other guy, even though they met in the same room?
He has to monitor his situation.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Isaac, you couldn't possibly monitor the situation being an engineer. Come on.
Reports. They're a fucking horror show. These things mold any dead tissue into a new form. One kind infects corpses, and the rest...
More corpses to infect.
That organic shit on the walls. That's dead tissue, too. The crews thought it was a habitat changer. Isaac, I'm gonna run some diagnostics. I think that's spreading.
Here's the part where you just set the Ishimura in a one-way trip to the nearest star. Straight dead into it.
Oh, right. So actually, I was thinking about it, and I think in the remake, if they did not make it onto here, I think the marker would have been contained because the engines were off and they were drifting back to Aegis 7, and it would have destroyed the marker, and it would have destroyed the Ishimura, and Isaac wouldn't have gotten the marker blueprints in his demented brain. So I want to say that if they never entered it, I think the unitologist actually would not have won. Dr. Mercer would have died because he wouldn't have been able to fix the Ishimura, so that's all I'm saying.
The moral of the story is don't ever fix anything ever.
Yeah, never put yourself on the line because it's always bad.
The marker must be delivered to the church, whatever the cost. For God's sakes, Ben, listen to yourself. The Ishimura's in crisis, you cut us off. By Maritime Law, Article 5469, I, Dr. Terrence Kine, hereby declare Captain Benjamin Matthias unfit for duty.
I like how, even though it's in space, it's still maritime law.
Let me help you.
Okay, I only need 20,000 credits for this.
Space is kind of like water out in space, I guess.
I was trying to help you. Doctor, you just killed the captain. We have to take you in.
Rip.
The others from the church get hold of me. Stop!
Dr. Kine, he's one of the very few survivors, and we'll meet up with him a bit.
Oh man, I love music like that. It brings me back to something like actually fun stuff in Game of Thrones, and I assume maybe Witcher, maybe the first season, and not anything else.
I hear that the Winter Show is like horrible.
Yes, I heard at the very least, as it
It's
goes
like-
on, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's like very unfaithful. Oh no, you know what that means.
Elizabeth, it's Jacob.
Isaac is
Get to the bridge looking
marker
for you,
boy
but it is
already.
completely fucked. I'm not sticking around in case whatever did it comes back, and neither should you. It looks like the admin staff went to the mining deck to clean up the most survivors.
Oh.
You aren't listening. I'll find a way to contact you.
Whatever the first game was to use the D-pad as a weapon changer was a game changer.
Yeah, it is.
I don't
really
know what
nice.
it was. It was, well, it was definitely after RE4, because RE4 still had, like, the normal inventory system.
We got it. The ADS cannons are back online. We
Uh-oh.
targeting offline. Calibration data
Data not found.
What? You're telling me something went wrong?
The cannons are useless.
What about manual targeting?
You want to go out there with all that shit raining down and target the ADS cannons manually?
If I get the cannons...
Oh no, do you have to do that stupid cannon part?
They changed it in this.
Oh, okay.
I like it a lot better in this game.
It was just so weird. It was like a mini game thrown in.
Yeah, it's a mini game. This one is much more integrated into main gameplay. So basically, Isaac's idea is to link up the rig system that he has to his targeting, and they calibrate the ADS cannons with just like shooting the meteorites.
Oh, okay. Are you doing that now?
Yeah.
Entering zero gravity.
So you do have to get out here, and the meteors can strike you, but this is way less bad than the original.
Syncing targeting system.
You just have to shoot like 5
This is
of them.
pretty cool.
Calibration complete. Cannon auto-targeting online.
It's not like literally Star Wars, like the first Star Wars movie. Don't get cocky, kid!
Targeting system.
The one thing that kind of sucks is that 2 of the little guys that shoot you spawn after this. I don't really know what to do with them, because you can still get... Oh, they're already spawned, I think.
Cannon auto-targeting online.
Where are you? Okay.
Warning. Hull integrity compromised.
Yeah, it's fine.
Syncing targeting system.
I'm actually running out of air. There.
Data migration complete.
Where's oxygen tank?
ATS pre-calibrated. Auto-targeting systems enabled.
Okay.
Can you imagine,
They're back.
like, for like a huge ship like this, how absolutely ridiculous
Get yourself inside, Isaac.
the like defense system on it would be, just to avoid stuff like asteroids and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
They literally need an entire suite of cannons just to get...
Like literally space debris and crap like that.
Where's the second one? Whatever.
Because like the standard size ones that, you know, exist nowadays, the chances of hitting something are just so much less, you know?
Okay, the one optional rig is right here. This is a very easy one to miss.
See ya. Whee! Now the rest of the night. Dum dum da dum dum dum.
But yeah, the ADS cannon minigame in the original is like the worst part of the game. Because if you fail it, you just automatically die.
It's also just very, very, very out of place.
Security request retrieved.
Isaac, Hammond, I just intercepted a transmission for medical.
Someone's down there?
See what you make of this.
Look at this guy.
This is Senior Medical.
Whoa!
Medical, Brennan.
She's alive!
Medical is a sanctuary. All survivors, please join us.
Nicole. I'm going back to medical.
Makes sense.
I'll head to the crew deck and
So
look
wait,
for survivors from the bridge.
I mean, you know, this isn't a spoilers kind of thing, because it's a remake of a 15-year-old game. But my question is, like, so that was a live call, right?
You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see how it works.
Is that the same... Is that the same thing that the original's like? Like, did they make it like a live call?
No, I think they changed it.
Because I would have thought that, like, the other people would have been like, Isaac, what the hell are you talking about? That wasn't anything, you know?
Yeah, you'll see how it works.
Alright.
Cannot determine clearance level.
As a master override one.
Dang.
Alright, level 3 suit gib. I just need those inventory slots more than anything in the world.
I just want it to look cool. Screw anything else.